Hey everybody, Thomas Meister here with Ryan Grant. I guess we're host and co-host, right, Ryan? We're
Yeah.
doing the Art of Homeownership live every single week, where we're trying to not only answer people's questions related to the real estate and mortgage industry, but also just to give back and to help other real estate and mortgage professionals kind of expand, and we can learn from each other and collaborate, and through other people's experiences, really grow. So today, actually, really quickly, if you want to get updates when we're going to be doing these, and you also want to communicate directly with Ryan, also get market updates, etc., feel free to text AOH Live to the phone number on the screen, and Ryan is going to be able to add you to his personal community, and he can give you updates on the fly. So today, we're talking about adversity, because I think that if you're in the real estate industry, you've been around it, or you did something in the with your mortgage, then you definitely maybe felt the client experience suffer. I think that nobody wanted that to happen, and Ryan's going to explain it a little bit more right now, but I think it really sucked to just sum it up for a lot of people. And this is something nobody was expecting. So Ryan, I know the client experience with the Ryan Grant team is paramount. Can you share a little bit about maybe how it impacted us and what other people were seeing?
Yeah, the comments that I see on social media from other mortgage professionals and really highly respected mortgage professionals, the coaching groups that I'm fortunate to be involved in, the thought process is the same with everybody, right? We are very fortunate to have had the opportunity, and we keep perspective on this, and we are very grateful to have had the opportunity to have been able to work from home, work remotely, help families buy and improve the financing on their homes. And at the same time, we are not as excited, or in a normal world, if we had this level of production, we'd have a higher level of excitement. But we all realize we're not operating at an A level, right? We're operating
Right.
somewhere in between maybe C and A, right? And depending upon the client, the transaction, the time. And it's a competing feeling, right? At the intention of feeling good because we're able to help a lot of families and earn a great income. But the alternative side is knowing we're not operating at our best, which we pride ourselves on. And it's something as simple as you think, okay, we've kind of made it through it, and all of a sudden the last 2 days, now not only can we not work from home, now we have to leave our homes, right? Like we have fires
Right.
that are evacuating half of our staff from, they weren't at the office, they were at their house. Now they're not at their house. Now they're somewhere else. They're at a hotel somewhere with spotty internet connection.
Yeah, I've got a Your Belinda evacuee right here.
Yeah.
my family-in-law had to evacuate. They were in mandatory evac zone, so my brother-in-law is staying here with the family cat. So
Yeah. And so, if you're a mortgage professional out there, the best thing you can do is be honest and, be very transparent with the challenges. We've had, personally, our team, obviously, we've had work from home challenges. We've had challenges with our key employees having to teach their kids how to work, virtually or learn remotely. We've had, unfortunate passings of family members. We've had just really challenging things happen over the last 6 months, the fires, the people being displaced, and all these things sound like excuses, but when you put it in the context to a consumer, to a business partner, they may not they may not be the answer or the end all, but the empathy has to be there, right? And you have to be empathetic to
right.
yourself. And the only thing you can do is learn from what you just went through to ensure that that repetition doesn't happen again, right? And so we've hired 30 people in the last 6 months. Some really highly talented, trained people from the mortgage industry, some brand new in other industries who are sharp and eager and hungry and humble and smart. And now they're phenomenal. So coming out of this challenge in a much better way, like learning from the mistakes, figuring out how we can potentially work at a different capacity, is where everybody needs to focus their attention. And if you're an Art of Homeownership partner, obviously your value proposition is 30 plus years. So if you didn't operate at an A level, which you're accustomed to for the 30 days, you still have 30 years to show that client what your real value is going to be to them. So know that that's going to continue to be the case.
Awesome. You talk a lot about, I think especially this year in 2020, how a lot of us need to have empathy and perspective, right? So what are some of the things that, and again, I know you're in a lot of calls with, real estate leaders and people across the country. What are some of the things that those people are not only saying to their clients right now, but need to keep in mind, and maybe, again, kind of owning this experience? Because I don't think anybody went from being, great at what they do to, sucking, or, from a capacity standpoint, being really burdened or impacted by that. How should a lot of those people be owning this, the kind of, not falling on the sword, but practicing extreme ownership, right, with their clients and talking with them?
Yeah, I mean, the truth is the best script. I mean, just explaining, hey, we have a massive influx of people who want to buy homes, right? When rates are 2.5, 2.75%, not only are we going to have a lot of people who want to buy, but we're going to have a lot of people who are going to want to sell and ultimately move up to, because they can get a similar payment on a home that's maybe their forever home as opposed to their kind of interim home. And explaining we're doing our absolute best to help as many people as we can. And a lot of really great agents and a lot of really great lenders are actually somewhat victims of their own success, right? Because they've attracted a lot of people that want to work with them because of how valuable and beneficial they are. The only thing that we weren't ever good at is saying no, right? That was never, no one ever taught us how to say we can't actually take on this deal and explain that in a way where the client understood it, because a client has never been told no by a lender or a realtor before. So not only would the client understand it, we probably wouldn't have ever done it, right? Because it's just not in our DNA. We just keep thinking, oh, we can handle it, we can handle it, we can handle it. But you just keep throwing these logs onto the fire, and the fire keeps getting bigger, and then it starts getting out of control. No pun intended with the fires we're having here, but that was the truest form of everybody's challenge, right? Was that they wanted to help as many people as they can, and a lot of people wanted help from them because of the value they create. And it was a challenge of being everything to everyone as opposed to the right things to the right people. And it's a lesson we've all learned. And when I say, when this thing is titled Out of Adversity, everybody will come out of this thing stronger. All the people on our team that I've been talking to are way better at their job now. They've had to take on more responsibility where team members would have taken those responsibilities on previously, but those team members were out. They were sick. They were displaced. They had, family problems. And when team members are out, it forces the responsibility back onto the team leader, right? So now they're all better team leaders. And when they hire new staff, they can train them on exactly what to do and how to do it. And, the people that we've all hired, who, believe me, I mean, I was looking at headlines this morning on CNBC. I mean, between Boeing and a few of the other airlines and some of these companies, I mean, there's tens and thousands, even hundreds of thousands of employees that are going to be laid off from these large companies. These are, engineers. These are, customer service reps. These are, fairly talented people, right, that work in these pretty large companies, and they're not going to have a job. And we have more jobs than we know what to do with. And, obviously, this, Tom, has been teeing up interviews left and right. So I really feel honored to be able to help people get into an industry where, it's a limitless opportunity, where there's a vision to the top, it's a collaborative system. And that's what we see coming out of this adversity, is we can help a lot of people who need it, both from a employment perspective and from a real estate and finance perspective.
Nice. So maybe two questions, kind of heading toward, looking toward the future, right? 18 months, 24 months out, and how people are kind of really impacted with this right now, given that a lot of people have, capacity issues, and here in the mortgage industry, what are some of the things you're encouraging, I guess, even, our team and other people, as far as like balance, right? Because it's just so overwhelming. People are getting burnt out. Like, I know that, yes, we have a lot of opportunities for, people to kind of get into our industry and to, see what that, career path could kind of look like for them. What do you see? What are you saying with, what are the conversations you're hearing with people as far as, like, I guess, balance, right? With all this work?
Yeah. First, you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to know what your limits are. I mean, we have underwriters who are amazing, right? But they're working 7 days a week. I saw an email earlier from an underwriter that is being recruited, and she said she took one weekend off this entire year, right? Like 2 days off, 7 days a week for a whole year, except for 2 days. And I think that was on bereavement. So you have to be honest with yourself as to what you want. Right? What's the most important
Yeah.
thing to you? Is it money? And if it is, then know that some other things are going to fall off the table. Right? If it's just doing more and more deals and making more and more money, then family, health, mental health, a lot of other things are going to be challenged, right? So put guardrails around what you want. I mean, we did that 8 equities of life planning
I was just going to
session,
bring that up. Yeah.
and the reason why we do all 8 is because most people focus on goals. They focus on finances, career, and health, right? It's kind of
Right.
the main 3, right? But then when you're so intently focused on career and health, right, career for finances, then you realize that relationships can suffer, family, mindfulness, spirituality, um, personal joy, right? There's a lot of other things in these 8 equities that, you put some on that table, something else is going to fall off the other side. So making sure that you put guardrails around what's most important to you and then communicate those guardrails.
Right.
If you're a loan coordinator, say, I don't want to take any more loans. And if you're a
Wait, you
transaction
can say that?
coordinator,
You can
real
say
estate
that as well
professional,
as a
you
loan officer?
can, and you should, because, well, I was saying as a loan coordinator, because
According.
when the loan coordinator tells their team that, and their team says, okay, well, if they can't take on any more deals, and I say yes to the next one, that means I have to burden all of their responsibility as well,
Right.
right? That becomes on my shoulders. So then they can make the decision: do I want to take that on or not? Right?
Yeah.
And
I was just going to quickly say the 8 equities, like I think that most people don't really have intentionality as far as their, personal, spiritual, professional life go, and having, you only can have so much on the table, like you were just saying. So what are you intentionally putting on the table and what are you neglecting, right? I forget who says it, but failing to plan is planning to fail, right? So
yeah,
you have to have that intentionality. Okay. A freedom workshop that coming up here on November 5th that you're teaching. Can you share a little bit about, we did that for our whole entire region, like just for us. And I think there was a lot of interest from other people who heard about it. So share a little bit about the financial freedom.
yeah. And one of the key components of what we try and help all of our employees with is accomplishing a sense of financial freedom at some stage in life, right? And the definition of financial freedom is when you don't have to put in manual work hours to create income to be able to live your life, right? So you've reached a point where your passive income, whether it's retirement income, whether it's real estate rental income, whether it's annuities, dividends, and interest, whatever you've done in financially in life is now creating enough revenue and income for you to where you don't have to actively work to support your lifestyle. And most people think that has to be a massive number. It really doesn't, right? It just is really a product of expenses and lifestyle, and then also what you've saved to that point. So um, one of the things that I get a lot of joy from is knowing that I can help people get to that point, because it's kind of what we're all hoping to. My assumption is that we all want to get to that point. Now, it doesn't mean you have to stop working at that point. You can still work because you want to, but I would be shocked if I interviewed 100 people and I said, if you could get to financial freedom, would you want to? If a single person said no, I would be shocked.
That's kind of a leading question. It's like, yes, but then maybe what does that look like, right? Just like, I think you've shared before, you coach and talk with a lot of loan originators across the country, right? And success looks different to everybody, right? So some people don't maybe want to do as many loans as you do, right? Like, they've
But
got a different outlook.
that's the point. Is that it doesn't mean that you need to earn more and more money to accomplish it, right? It just means you need to pare down expenses. You need to have
Right.
a lifestyle that's commensurate with what revenue you're earning and what you're actually saving. And so there's no magic number, right? It's all specific to that person. And you figure when you reach financial freedom, what do you want your life to look like, right? How much
Right.
do you want to travel? How much do you want to be able to give away? How much do you want to be able to help your family or children? How much do you want to be able to just enjoy life in whatever whatever gives you joy? And once you figure that out, it's just a simple mathematical equation, right? It's here's how much I need to
Hard
make.
work. Yeah.
Here's how much I need to save. Here's the means within. Here's what I need to do to protect that money, right? Here's how I can generationally plan. Here's how I can use insurances. Here's how I can use investments. Here's how I can use my retirement or pre-asset planning. And so it's not it seems overwhelming because it seems such a
Well,
big
who talks
daunting
about all
task.
those things, right? Like, that's not
Yeah, we
something
don't
that's
learn
taught in our
them.
society, right? Anywhere.
Right. And so that's why I'm excited. I was excited to do it for our group. I'm excited to do it for all of our clients and all of our partners and our partners' clients. It's basically an open call for anybody who wants to figure out kind of what financial freedom looks like to them and give a pathway. Now, granted, we're not going to invest any of your money, right? We're not going to sell you insurance. We don't have a dog in the fight, right? We literally just want to help people. Now, in the event that, you know, saving money on your mortgage, in the event that, buying or selling real estate or, restructuring your debt in any way might help you accomplish that, obviously that's our wheelhouse, right? But for anything else, we can refer you out to other people. But I think the key starts with you having the knowledge of what it takes to get to a financial freedom point and what that even looks like and the steps, right? There's real simple buckets that we go through, like bucket 1, bucket 2, bucket 3. And as soon as you get to the end, everything else is just, kind of play money, for lack of a better term, right? Because you can do whatever you want with it if you've hit all those buckets and if you've checked all the boxes on the way. So we're excited to share that with people, and I think we should do it more often. I think that it's something that is a big part of our mortgage practice because, again, we don't just sell mortgages. We help people holistically plan through every aspect of real estate or finance for 30 years, which is the whole premise of the art of homeownership. And I think that as a consumer, you should demand that from your real estate and your mortgage professional. You should demand more than a transaction. You should demand ongoing, lifetime, proactive value that helps you in ways that you're not currently getting help with, knowing that they're not going to sell you stuff, right? Knowing that it's a very unbiased approach to, Tom, if you're my client, if I help you become more successful, we both win. I had a post-closing call with a client yesterday, and he asked me, he says, are you just a really good salesperson, or why are you doing all this? And I had to explain to him, I said, look, there's two reasons. One is I fully believe that this wealth gap that we're seeing in our country, this widening wealth gap, can be solved if people just knew that they could get advice, guidance, and education. And we want to help that, right? We want to help you become a more successful homeowner in every aspect of real estate or finance. And selfishly, we know that if we invest in that, we'll have the opportunity to help you and your family for years to come. And it would only make sense that you would tell all your friends and family about what we do, because it's going to be way more valuable to them, right? You'll have a higher level of social currency to be able to share with people that and like and want to help as well. So we get to solve two problems, right? We get to grow our business and help more families, and we also get to make a difference. And he was just
Right.
blown away, and he was really blown away that exists in today's market. And so if you're not currently an Art of Homeownership partner and you want to offer that level of advice and you want to have those types of conversations with your clients, I'd highly recommend reaching out, and we can help you understand it. And then when it comes to the consumer side of it, you really need to demand that from the professionals you work with, because there's 1.4 million licensed real estate professionals in the country. There's close to 900,000 mortgage professionals in the country. And any one of them would be happy to help you buy, sell, or do a mortgage. The only question is why? Right? What's the motivation? What's the intent? Is it to make money? Is it to complete a transaction? Or is it to make an impact and actually proactively help you and your family? And Art of Homeownership is a small, exclusive group that not everybody can have access to, and it's something that we're excited to share with the people who want to be a part of it.
Yeah, guys on the screen, go ahead and go to rgthomeownership.com if you want to see exactly what the Art of Homeownership is and what that would mean for any Art of Homeownership member. So you watching or your clients could sign up and get all those benefits. And that's what your client, or the gentleman you did that call with, right? That's what he was referring to. Why do you do all these things, right? The Art of Homeownership, and I guess the reason that we're even doing this live right now is because we believe in being intentional and also giving more for what we do, right? And helping people. So go ahead and check out the Art of Homeownership. I'll throw this up really quickly. Text AOH Live if you want to get more updates on this, when we're going to be doing these. If you have suggestions for topics or things you'd like more, Ryan to maybe elaborate more on, or for future episodes of this, then go ahead and comment that quickly. And also, if you want to be a part of the Financial Freedom Workshop that Ryan is doing again on November 5th at 2 p.m., it's Thursday, go ahead and text FREEDOM to the phone number on the screen, and you can register. It's free. And Ryan's going to be leading that. It's going to be about an hour. So that's it, guys. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next week.